Imagine trying to survive in one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth, where the wind slices through your clothes like a blade, where daylight vanishes for months, and where your next meal might depend on chasing a whale through icy waters. For most of us, that kind of life sounds like a death sentence, but for the Inuit, it's just another Tuesday. These Arctic people have managed to not just endure, but truly thrive in conditions that would leave most of us frozen, starving, and hopeless. Scientists have been left in awe, scratching their heads as they study the almost supernatural ways the Inuit have adapted to this brutal environment, revealing centuries-old survival techniques that still work today. Life in the Arctic is no joke. The cold is so intense that exposed skin can freeze in seconds. There's no sun for months at a time. And if you're hungry, you're not heading to the pantry. You're out on the ice, hunting seals or whales with tools that haven't changed much in centuries. Somehow the Inuit survive. And not just survive, but defy everything we thought we knew about human limits. Their resilience has stunned researchers. Their secrets? A mix of biology, tradition, and some of the most mind-blowing survival hacks you've never heard of. Let's start with their diet. If you've heard the phrase, "you are what you eat," then the Inuit must be made of seal blubber and whale meat. Their traditional menu is heavy on raw fish and marine mammals, with almost no fruits or vegetables in sight. In theory, such a high-fat, low-carb diet should lead to clogged arteries and heart disease. But here's the twist. Inuit people tend to have some of the healthiest cardiovascular systems on Earth. How? Scientists discovered they carry a unique genetic adaptation that helps their bodies metabolize fat in a completely different way. It's as if evolution gave them a custom-built engine for Arctic living, a biological advantage fine-tuned for survival on fat and cold. Now picture this. You step outside in winter, and within minutes, your fingers are numb. Meanwhile, the Inuit have been known to withstand sub-zero temperatures wearing minimal gear. Their secret weapon? A metabolism that runs like a furnace. Their bodies generate heat more efficiently than the average person, and even their shape helps. Stockier frames and shorter limbs help conserve warmth. They're literally built for the cold. This has led scientists to wonder just how deep these adaptations go. Is it all in the genes? Or is there something more ancient and spiritual at play? You've probably heard the old claim that Inuit have dozens of words for snow. That's not just a quirky fact. It's a window into how they perceive reality. Their language, Inuktitut, is so unique that it actually shapes how they experience space and time. Instead of using directions, like left and right, they rely on absolute references, like north or toward the sea. So an elder Inuit could be blindfolded, spun around, and still point north. It's a stunning reminder that culture and cognition are deeply linked. Their connection to the environment isn't just physical, it's baked into how they think, speak, and navigate the world. So, are the Inuit a glimpse into how far humans can push adaptation? Or are they keepers of ancient knowledge that science still hasn't cracked? Either way, their story forces us to rethink what's possible when human beings go up against nature and win. But the Inuit aren't the only ones who've left scientists speechless. Let's take a journey to the South Pacific during World War II, where something truly surreal happened. Imagine living your entire life on a quiet island. No cities, no machines. Just the rhythm of the tides and the land. Then, one day, enormous, metal birds appear in the sky, dropping crates filled with food, weapons, and strange tools. That's exactly what happened to the Melanesian Islanders when U.S. military forces set up bases during the war. To these isolated communities, the cargo drops weren't just military operations, they were miracles. The locals watched as American soldiers received these gifts from the heavens with consistency and apparent ease. So they began to imitate them, down to the smallest detail. They built wooden copies of airplanes, runways, and even radios out of bamboo and leaves. Some marched like soldiers, painted USA on their chests, and performed drills in hopes of summoning the magical cargo again. These were the birth of what came to be known as cargo cults, a real-life blend of faith, imitation, and desperation. But when the war ended, the soldiers left and the drops stopped. For the islanders, it wasn't just a retreat. It felt like the gods had turned their backs. Some even believed the Americans had stolen divine power, taking it with them across the sea. And they weren't alone in challenging the limits of belief and survival. Deep in the remote jungles of northeast India, the Naga tribes have lived for centuries in isolation, surrounded by mystery and legend. They're known for both their fierce warrior history and their intricate cultural traditions. These aren't just villagers farming quietly in the forest. Their past includes hand-to-hand battles with wild animals and a tradition so brutal it's hard to imagine: headhunting. For generations, taking an enemy's head wasn't just about warfare. It was a rite of passage, a symbol of honor, and a source of immense respect. Warriors who succeeded earned tattoos to mark their kills, wearing their victories like badges. But the Naga weren't only warriors. They were also talented craftsmen, skilled in pottery, blacksmithing, and architecture. While society was male-dominated, women played powerful roles in household management and inheritance. When the oldest son married, the family home was passed to him, and the parents would move out and build anew. A unique custom rarely seen elsewhere. Though headhunting has been outlawed since the late 20th century, the stories live on in song, dance, and oral tradition, echoing through the dense forest where those battles once raged. Further east, in the misty mountains of Papua New Guinea, the Yali tribe remained hidden from the modern world for decades. These mountain dwellers lived without electricity or machines, relying entirely on their environment for survival. When the first outsider made contact, he found a community so untouched, so self-sufficient, it was like stepping back in time. But even in isolation, the Yali had developed sophisticated systems of belief, governance, and trade, proving once again that survival doesn't depend on modernity, but on adaptability and wisdom. And across the vast African continent, more stunning stories unfold. The Surma people of Ethiopia, for example, are known for their dramatic body art and modifications. The women in particular undergo a painful but proud transformation, knocking out their lower teeth to make room for enormous clay lip plates. These aren't just fashion statements, they're powerful cultural symbols of beauty and status. The larger the plate, the more desirable the woman, and the greater the dowry her father receives. To outsiders, it may seem extreme, but for the Surma, these traditions are sacred. Every scar, every plate, every painted design tells a story of identity, resilience, and pride. Their bodies are living canvases of cultural expression. Their neighbors, the Mercy, share a similar practice but with an added edge. Not only do Mercy women wear massive lip plates, but the tribe is also known for being heavily armed. In a land where disputes over cattle and territory can erupt into violence, AK-47s have replaced spears as the tool of defense. Conflict here is more than survival. It's a right of identity, and the Mercy are ready to defend their land and way of life at all costs. But don't be fooled. Beneath their fearsome reputation lies a complex society, steeped in ritual, community, and history. To them, every custom, every tradition, is a thread in the fabric of who they are, unbroken, unbending, and unforgettable. From frozen tundras to scorching savannas, these stories show us just how wildly diverse and resilient the human race can be. Whether it's through genetic evolution, spiritual devotion, or sheer willpower, these tribes remind us that the limits of human potential may be far greater than we ever imagined.